Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you all. Attention ladies, on this Wellness Wednesday, Lowcountry Obgyn has some important information that you can't afford to miss. And here with the details is Dr. Lynn Crimes. Dr. Lynn, how are you?
I'm great.
It's wonderful to have you here this morning, and we're talking about these procedures that women might be a little bit afraid of, but they don't need to be because they're very minimally invasive.
Correct.
Tell me what we're talking about.
Well, we're talking about hysterectomies, and I guess probably the easiest way to sum it up is it's not your mom's hysterectomy anymore.
I was just going to say that because there was a time where this was like, it took forever to recover.
Right. There was a large incision, like a C-section incision. It was 2 to 3 days in the hospital, and then a 6 to 8 week recovery time with lots of pain medicine and
missing a lot of work.
A lot of work, right. And with the advancement of our techniques, it's totally changed that.
Okay. Well, Dr. Crimes, you can sit here and tell us all that, but there's still a lot of women out there that are saying, I'm still really scared. I don't know what I should do. Can they come in for a consultation and you really explain everything to them?
Absolutely. The tagline, minimally invasive hysterectomy, is gets people very interested, but you do have to keep in mind that it is a major surgery and the risks are there. So people who are cautious and scared, they're smart. I mean, they need to get all their information and know that they're doing it for the right reason and that the procedure that is being chosen to do is the right answer. Right.
Some people have hysterectomies because it's a medical reason. Like they're sick, they have to get it done.
Right.
What is another reason why you would get a hysterectomy?
Well, it's probably easiest if you kind of separate them in your mind for malignant problems, cancer problems, GYN cancer, cervical, endometrial, ovarian cancer, and then non-malignant benign issues. And those they have a big range: abnormal bleeding, really heavy, awful periods, painful periods, pelvic pain, prolapse of the uterus, endometriosis. The list kind of goes on and on.
It keeps going on.
Yeah.
Well, all that said, what exactly would you say that a woman, can you be on birth control when you get a hysterectomy?
Absolutely.
Or are there certain things where you'll say, well, before we can do this, you have to do this, this, and this?
Well, it's always smart to try medical options before you jump into a major surgery. So things like birth control pills, there's newer medicines for the treatment of heavy bleeding that we didn't have a year ago that has really changed people's lives. So trying medical options first is always smart, but sometimes they don't work. And when they don't work, you're sitting down with your gynecologist and saying, what are my options? Because we really have a whole lot more options than your mother's hysterectomy.
And I mean, we're just focusing on the minimally invasive procedures right now. That's just what we're doing today, just because that's the only time we have. But you have a range of different services that you offer to women at your office.
Right.
So maybe a website or something that we could go to. I think the website right there, lcobgyn.com, is the website we can go to.
That's it. Yep. A lot of information is on that website.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, because sometimes people, they don't want to call. They're just, I'll read it at my leisure. So I'm sure that they could get information there.
Absolutely.
And you have a satellite office as well, right?
Yep, our main office is in Mount Pleasant. It's a couple blocks from the new East Cooper Hospital. And then we have a satellite office over in West Ashley on Farmfield Drive.
Okay. Another question for a lot of women out there might be sitting there saying, well, maybe it is something that I want to do, but I'm not sure. This is very permanent. So this is something that you need to really think about.
There are no such thing as uterine transplants.
You
once
can't
it's gone,
get it back.
It's gone.
Right. So that said, maybe if you're iffy about it, what are some reasons why you should go through with the procedure?
Well, if you haven't responded to medical therapy and it's really, affecting your life, if you're missing 2 to 3 days of work because of a terrible period that's very heavy or very painful and it's getting in the way of your normal kind of day-to-day life, then you really start thinking about permanent options to fix the problem.
All right. What's the phone number that we can call for those women that want to, like you said, you can come in for a consultation.
Absolutely.
And just maybe speak to you one-on-one, because maybe they have questions.
It's 884-5133.
Okay, and can we get, let's say those that want to go to that West Ashley satellite office, can they call
all
that
the same number? Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, there you go. And the website is lcobgyn.com. See it right there on your screen. We'll have much more on that on abcnews4.com. All you got to do is click on the Lowcountry Live tab. Thank you so very much for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We really do enjoy it. And hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Turkey Day.
All right, well, it's time to treat those skin conditions like possibly eczema and even some skin cancers that you might have developed. We've got details coming up with Dermatreat. Stay with us.